Welcome to Think Big, Act Small in August. We're up to day 15 of this series of live daily streams, live stream videos, I should say, on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook every weekday morning in August. My name is Tristan White. I believe the world needs more great places to work, and I'm here to help you to think big as to what you'd like to be progress, or you'd like to be a little bit different, or you'd like to be improve upon, to act small. What can you do with that, and how can you progress and make a bit of a change in the next 24 hours, ideally the next 24 hours, or at the very least the shorter term. Acting small to make progress, to build momentum is what it's about. If you are here with me, please say hello in the comments. I'd love to know you're here. I'd love to know where you're tuning in from. Think Big, Act Small in August is normally at 8:45 a.m. Melbourne, Australia time, every Monday to Friday. It's a little bit late today. I've been presenting at a workshop for the Australian Physiotherapy Association, a winter breakfast event. Fantastic event. I was really pleased to be able to be there. And I can see that Jeffrey is here. G'day, Jeffrey. Nice to have you with us. And I'm impressed that you remembered and adjusted to a different time, Jeffrey. So thank you for being here for Think Big, Act Small in August, day 15, Friday, the 20th of August. All right. And Carmel's here as well. Carmel, well done. I'm impressed by you as well. You two are super impressive of both showing up and also of remembering the adjusted time. So thank you. I'm grateful for you both being here. Over the last few weeks, we've been covering all sorts of topics in the Think Big, Act Small in August series. Today, I want to quickly cover a topic which is really important to me. I learnt it a few years back and I've applied it just in the last 24 hours or so. And that is teach once, learn twice. And that is, as leaders, we need to make sure that we're continuing to learn, improve, and progress. But sometimes, just sometimes, it's important that we organize our thoughts, we organize our learning, we organize the things we already know or might already know some of. We dig deeper in it. And the way that we can do that is by teaching someone else. This morning at the workshop that I was presenting, it was a topic that, let me share my screen. I might still have this here. If I press that button there, what happens? There we go. Here's one of the slides from this morning. Being a self-leader is to serve as chief, captain, or CEO of one's own life. And it was about the concept of leading yourself first to better lead others. And we went through these leading yourself first. The 4 pillars of self-leadership was part of the content. But why I mentioned that is because that was the third time that I've presented that similar type of content. And the thing is, I'm knowing it, I'm learning it in such depth because I'm teaching it to other people. I'm considering the audience. I'm considering how I'll communicate. I'll consider the questions I'll ask, the activities, the actions, and the other things will follow up. And so, learn twice by teaching once is the idea. And I'd love to ask you, Jeffrey, have you taught something to someone in the last few days, or is there something that you could teach to someone in the next few days which would really help you to embed your learning? Carmel, same for you. How do you go about really taking action, embedding the learnings, and what is it that you could do? Think big is all well and good to learn new things, but acting small, organizing our thoughts, organizing our learnings, and putting them and helping other people to access them is so much more deeper, so much more richer approach to taking on new information and being more useful and valuable in the world is the topic there. So I'd love to know your thoughts on that. If you've just joined us, my name's Tristan White. I believe the world needs more great places to work. This is Think Big, Act Small in August. And the idea or the concept we're talking about today is teach once, learn twice. It's the power of teaching other people things, teaching other people new things, and therefore embedding and improving our own learning. This morning, after the presentation that I gave, there are a few questions that came at us, and I was one of the questions was, if we're going to lead ourselves and take care of ourselves in a sustainable and useful way, how do we do it when we're so pressed for time? How do we self-care and self-management seems like something that I just can't fit in at the moment. And my response or suggestion for people in knowing that that's almost the elixir of life in some ways, trying to figure this out. But short, sharp moments of self-care and self-management, I think, are one way to try and manage that. And also the skill, the idea that I learnt from Hugh Van Cuylenberg from the Resilience Project, and that is that he mentioned on a podcast not that long ago that have something that you're looking forward to in the next 24 hours, and the next 24 hours, and the next 24 hours, and then when it does come, just look for something the next day. What are you looking forward to? What's something to smile about, to enjoy when it turns up? Be in the moment, enjoy it, and then consider something to look forward to in the period after that. And the reason I mentioned this to you, and this is that I had heard that, I'd talked about it already, but then it came back into my mind when we got this question, and I talked about it again. And it's just a great, by teaching someone else and sharing what I've learned, then I can definitely embed the learning more myself and make sure I get that practice in my own life and in my own habits and routines. So let me see what's in the comments here. I can see Carmel and Jeffrey have been typing away. Thank you to you both. Carmel writes, apart from teaching clients basic exercise for their pets, I'm not doing so much teaching at the moment. Okay, that's okay, Carmel. It's something that you can consider. What does Jeffrey write here? Let me get this on the screen. I like to teach something and then watch to see what they have taken on board and correct when appropriate. So I guess the second lesson may come from what they have understood of my instructions. Yeah, so it's teaching, and then it's reflecting and reviewing and seeing what's changed in the from the perspective of the student, if you will. And that's a great insight into your communication skills and the way you've passed on that information, Jeffrey. So I really like that. I hope that I've grasped what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely. Now, Karma also writes, I am more of a coach for my team with their practitioner training. And coaching there's definitely teaching that happens in a coaching role. I think there's two parts of coaching, Carmel, from my perspective. It's a very difficult concept, but a couple of parts of it is, one is teaching new material from experience. If you've got a different experience, definitely teaching new material is part of coaching. Then there is skill development and development of technical and non-technical skills, which coaches can refine, provide feedback, ask deeper questions, challenge people on. That's another part of coaching. But teaching team new skills is absolutely a teaching moment. So, and Carmel, if it was skills that you're only doing on a regular basis with your clients and with your pet owners, but you didn't have to think how to teach it, I suspect it might be organized in the way in your mind just a little bit differently, and the way you communicate it might not be as clear for someone who's more of a beginner or earlier on their ability to do that skill. So thank you, Jeffrey and Carmel. You've done well to pick up on this teach once, learn twice approach. And yeah, maybe on first reflection, you may not think you're teaching right now, but I think that all of us do it in many ways. And I'd encourage you just to be open to when is a teaching moment, when is not a teaching moment, and when is it happening, and how is it organizing, or how are your thoughts becoming clearer and your communication becoming clearer as a result of teaching others. Alrighty. Today is a short, sharp episode of Think Big, Act Small in August. We are almost at the end. If you've got any questions or comments, please feel free, either live right now and or on the replay, type them in the comments and or send me an email, tristan@tristanwhite.com.au. I would love to hear from you. Think Big, Act Small in August is this series. I'll be back at 8:45 a.m. Melbourne, Australia time on Monday morning next week. I actually don't know whether we're next week is the last week of August. Let's check out the calendar. And what do we got? Next week is a full week of August, and then we have got Monday and Tuesday the following week, which will be the last few days of this Think Big in Act Small in August series. Thanks for being here. Have a great weekend. My name's Tristan White. I believe the world needs more great places to work. Take care. Think big. Act small. See you Monday.